Oh, so you're gonna start streaming and I'm gonna look for a dead mouse? Is that what's happening? I'm fired.
Where's the Nerf gun? Hey everybody, how's it going? So today we're going to be working on an A1398 that has liquid damage. Let's see if we can figure out what's wrong with this machine and fix it. My desk has salt on it. Reminds me of Eli the computer guy.
I can't stop laughing.
Can I actually use this microscope?
Do you need a chair?
No, sit, it's fine. You need to sit.
You stay closer to the dead mouse, Anna.
Can do.
Leave Joel out of this.
Joel, you mean?
Well, Joel is the real name of dead mouse.
You know I'm supposed to. Alright, so he's dead now. I don't know.
He's in Canada.
I don't know. Well, he said you know that the cabinet smelled like piss, right?
Well,
He's probably dead in there.
You know the dead mouse, right, Hannah?
the dead mouse, right?
Dead
The
mouse.
dead mouse 5? His name's Joel, lives in Canada?
Oh.
That went right over.
Oh, I can't identify musicians.
That went way over your head.
Like even the ones I know, I still can't identify. I'm really bad at it.
Brian, I'm waiting to hear back from one contractor today. I have another contractor who's a fan showing up on Saturday. Gonna hear back from the architect's contractor in a few days.
No, that's ready.
Paul? Nope.
Mouse in there?
This is for Paul.
Wait. Oh, that's some poo-poo right there.
Is that cocaine?
This
No.
may be fixed.
You wish it was cocaine.
Oh.
$20 if you snort it, though.
Will I die?
You think this is fixable?
No. Actually, you see. Unplug the battery at least. Do the poor sap a favor.
No, I don't think that's
Was that a mail?
Yeah, you know what's happening with this ticket, right? Enjoy.
Don't look at me.
The good thing is, I don't think it reached the RAM or the CPU.
But do you see the sheer amount of connectors? I mean, what do you call it? Components that are going to flake
Yeah.
off of this?
This fell into a river or something.
Over grass.
What's chew?
Data recovery?
I mean, you could probably get data after that.
You got on demand as well. I mean, on the.
Here, this is a good SMC stencil. You should use this. The rest of them have the holes aren't exactly so good.
How much is our home button? That was not a real question for you.
Here, you want to take mine? This one is good. Doesn't look that bad.
What's this one that I gave you?
Yeah.
Oh, it's Uni 100.
Yeah.
Okay, boomer. Hey everybody, how's it going? So today we're going to be working on an A1466 MacBook that doesn't power on. Let's open this thing up and see what's wrong with it, and see if we can fix it.
I put this on 5, but
Alright, so now the first thing we do with any of these machines, as is usual, is we're going to take our charger, plug it in with the battery unplugged so we can see how much power the board is taking by itself on screen using the power supply software. As can be seen here, it looks like this machine is taking 0.5 milliamps, not even 5 milliamps. So this is not doing anything at all. Wow, that's strange. Not used to seeing that. So we're going to take the board out of the case and see if we can figure out what's wrong with this MacBook.
This is the FMC revolt for you.
Why aren't you already at the new location? The new location has not been cleaned. The new location has not had the floor replaced yet. The new location has no furniture. The new location... Yeah, it's not even started yet, dude. It doesn't have the 200 amp electrical service put in yet. It's like...
No.
It's not like you sign a lease and you just move in the next day. There's a lot of stuff to do. And I'm just going to do the bare essentials for now and do the rest of it later. What's your SDTA? I don't know. I have no idea because I don't know. So there's a I don't know. I don't even have a quote on doing the floor yet. I have to wait on that. So there's no ETA. 0 ETA. No status. Don't ask me for status updates. Never ask a repair tech for status updates. It gives flashbacks to doing customer service and having to make things up. No idea. The new store has files. The store right now, the floor in the new store right now is kind of like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. 80% of my air are no PM sleep S4L because of bad PCH. Oh my god. I'm sorry. Yeah, that sounds like a miserable life, man. You gotta... That does not sound like fun. Well, let's see what's wrong with this one. I think I can see it. Kind of curious if any of you can see it. Let's see how good this camera is. So what's wrong with this board? Let's see if the man himself, Paul Daniels, can tell what's wrong with this board. I believe in Paul Daniels. I have faith in Paul Daniels. I know that Paul Daniels is the man with a plan. Paul Daniel solve this board? What's that? Why is it corroded? Let's take a look in the schematic and board view. I want to fucking blow something up right now. So there's a guy who outranks us on Google for hard drive data recovery, and he always shows up here for Steve to do his recoveries, and because the guy is over 70 years old, Steve feels bad for him, so he does these ridiculously complex recoveries for $45. And the guy is actually arguing with Steve right now, after Steve has done like over a dozen $45 recoveries for him. Oh my God. It's like, this is, you just can't be grateful. I mean, personally, to me, it's disgusting and outrageous that this guy outranks us on Google for a service when he has to routinely show up here to get work. But then to rely on the sympathy for the fact that you're old. I know, Kevin. It's like he's relying on sympathy to get a cheap price. He's using sympathy to guilt to get a cheap price. And look, like Kevin knows. Kevin's nodding. He knows what I'm talking about. He's tired of dealing with this mother. Focus camera. Yeah. Anyway. Like, he's relying on sympathy because of the fact that he's old to get it, but then he argues because he's old and more experienced. It's like, gah.
What happened?
I'm just listening to your conversation with him.
You can take your desk back.
He's gonna my chair.
I'm listening to your conversation with him, and I want to push him down a flight of stairs. It's like, this is just... Anyway. Can you hit us? Can you do to him what you were supposed to do to the Please Bro guy, the ISL 9240 guy?
You want me to hit an old man with a stick?
Absolutely, Hannah. As hard as you can.
He's gonna sue us.
He can't sue if all of his bones are broken. I'm kidding. Obviously.
So I brain hurt, yeah?
Oh my God. Okay. So if we take a look at the schematic in the board view, you'll see that the component that appears to have corrosion on it is for the creation of PP3V42_G3 hot. That's C7095. C7095 is going to sit between bias and feedback. Bias is going to be PP3V42_G3 hot's output. Feedback is going to be where the chip sees what it is present at output with this little voltage divider here. Obviously, this is a voltage divider. So let's just do a little basic brain work here. This is a voltage divider. This is PP3V42 output. See? Out. So I was expecting 3.2 here. If the chip is expecting to see something on feedback and it's a voltage divider here, I would imagine that what it sees on the voltage divider is going to be less than 3.42 volts. If this capacitor is shorted due to corrosion, it's going to send 3.4 volts to here, which means the chip is going to think that it's making more than it is. If the chip's making 3.4 volts, you're going to get something like 1.4 on feedback due to the voltage divider. So if it sees 3.4, it's probably going to do something else that's silly. So I think that if I literally tap this with my meter probes, I may actually be able to get this to work. And if I do that and it works, Paul is going to murder me. Legit murder me. And I just saw a green light in the charger. Oh my God. Oh man, I hope Paul's not watching this. Alright, let's see. I think I just got this to work through the magic of touching it. All right, so it looks like... Oh my god. Oh my god. That's all it took. I scraped it. Fixed. Fucking fixed. I fixed it. Fixed. That's fixed. So that's about. That's how you fix a MacBook. That is how easy it is to kill a MacBook. That is the teeny tiniest spec that is necessary to render a $1,200 machine completely and utterly worthless from Apple. That's it for today. And as always, I hope you learned something. Cut. Yeah, I'll put a little bit of flux there. Minus. The ones that have fan spin but no post chime are all the Broadwell ones, not Haswell ones. You're thinking of 820-00165, not 820-3437. Yeah, that was it. No green. I'm just gonna. Yeah. Listen, I'm not a total monster, man. I'll give it a little reflow. Irrelevant, Jeremy. Absolutely irrelevant. Let's see. Wow. There was a dot on top of a single 0201 capacitor, a dot. And I scratched it off with the multimeter probe, and the moment I did it, the fan spun. If Paul watches this, he's going to murder me tomorrow. Nah. What are you going to charge for that? I'm going to charge him $100. Maybe $500. Maybe $1,000. 1,000. Time for another one. Be right back.
Was that really random, Bill?
That was 100% random. Okay, you want to see the other one that I grabbed, just so you know? Well, let's show you the one I grabbed from David. Let's see. I don't know where David put it. If you saw the one that I grabbed before that, you'd see it was really random. All right, so I'm going to go grab another one. But while I'm grabbing another one, I just want to make sure that you have a message from our sponsors. This video is brought to you by our sponsors at store.rossmangroup.com. Thank you for supporting our sponsors that help keep us in business. On store.rossmangroup.com, you can find chips, supplies, ultrasonics, flux, soldering stations, and more. With 4.9 stars on Shopper Approved, same-day shipping from New York City, and free continental shipping over $30, you can't lose. We even offer free support, unless you're a please bro live chat, and are adding new products every day. If you buy today, we'll throw in a special offer that your order will actually go through properly. What are you waiting for? Go to store.rossmangroup.com to get yourself some authentic Amtech flux. Don't delay. Buy today. What are you all saying? Oh, what? Is there something playing? There's a sound bug, isn't there? Oh, there is a sound bug, isn't there? I don't know what that is. I have no idea what caused that. I'm sorry. Oh, but I'm sorry. Hey everybody, how's it going? So today we're going to be working on an A1707 15-inch Touch Bar MacBook Pro. It's got some liquid damage. Let's see if we can figure out what's wrong with it and make this thing work again. Maybe put some of this working MacBook money towards the new store fund. The new MacBook Pro 16-inch is a MacBook, and they call the keyboard magic. That's all I need to know. In order to give an opinion on the 16-inch MacBook Pro, I'd need to see it. In order to see it, I'd probably have to buy it. And spending $2,000 on a MacBook Pro seems like a really shitty way to spend my money, given that I am moving. Yeah, buying the new MacBook to review it seems like a shit way to spend my money. Must move. Yeah, 3,000. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I'm not buying that shit to review it. Screw that. Okay. Rossman reviews when? Use the GoFundMe dollars. The GoFundMe 24,000 is going towards my $70,000 crap move budget / $200,000 real move budget. The moving budget right now is about minus, if I want to do the place the ghetto way, it's minus 50K. If I want to do the place the right way, it is like minus 150K. So I am not putting that money towards buying a MacBook. Fuck that. And even if I was a millionaire, like, why are we buying a MacBook again? Why are we voluntarily giving Apple money? What? Hell no. Hells no. Yeah, yes, Homer. You could look at the budget that I had posted in that, so you could see how I was what I was planning to spend on. So, the first thing we do on any of these machines, as always, is unplug the battery and then see how much amperage it's taking. gonna do this. We're gonna do that. And where the hell is my USB-C amp meter? Uh-oh. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Where'd you go? Ah, this is the broken one. Son of a... Really? You disappeared? Ah, here you are, little bastard. Alright, so we plug this in. I see you put the screws in a magnet. So now that means you have to have someone that shorts the screws out to put it back together. No, that means that I have to hire people that are not so fucking dumb that they work at a Mac repair shop but don't know where the screws go inside of a Mac laptop. Which luckily I've done. We have 13 people working here, and not a single one of them is so dumb they don't know where the screws go in the machines that they work on for 8 hours a day. All right. So I plugged it in, and it is already turning on, which tells me that there's probably not much for me to do. And given that the screen turns on, now there's really not much for me to do. It says doesn't turn on, and it turns on. So what this tells me is that this person needs an ultrasonic cleaning. Yeah, you can see that there's minor... I wouldn't even call it corrosion, it's just sticky stuff on the board, so an ultrasonic will make this intermittent issue go away. There's no reason for this to be on the board repair desk, so we will move on. Even if the battery was at fault, it would still turn on, but this battery is not at fault. You can tell. Perfect condition. PCB perfect. Data cable perfect. This gets moved on down the line. This is a boring one. Next. Alright, let's grab another one. I bet I'd pay for the new store quicker if I did some sort of Twitch dot stuff. Instead of doing the border pairs like this, like I usually do the border pairs like this, but I'm thinking if I make a minor adjustment, it's the smallest of adjustments, like this. Alright, so today we're going to be working on an 820 dash... No, I can't fucking do that. I don't know how Twitch people do this shit. Oh my god. Yeah, the new store will be funded tomorrow. That GoFundMe would be done in a day. It would be like bam. Just... I'm not above it. Alright everybody, here we're going to be getting started on an A1708 board that's liquid damaged and see if we can figure out what's wrong with it. Let's get this thing on the desk and do what we always like to do on these boards to make sure that we can get a good idea of what the board's doing. Before we get started, we just unplug the battery and then plug it in with a USB-C amp meter to see what it's doing. Also appears the amount of magnets on my desk. You have to steal some magnets. Boomer. Doomer. This is an 820-00840 motherboard. If you want to follow along at home, This take 20 volts and 20 milliamps. 20 milliamps flat is typically missing PM Sleep S4L in the older models. Let's see what it is on this one. We're just going to take the board out of here and get to work. Andre, I don't know. I don't know, Andre. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. When it's done. First thing we do. My T3 disappeared.
Is Paul watching or no? Can you ask him where his sharpener is?
He has a pencil sharpener?
Oh, yes, he does. Okay.
Paul has pencils?
Yeah.
Paul has a pencil sharpener.
Paul has pencil sharpener and what do you call it? These brushes, they're very useful because the other side has an eraser on it, and that takes off like scum off of boards, like really nicely.
Wow. I'll be.
So I've been using it. I'm a proponent of it. Like, for example, say you have a really mucked up USB-C charge port, right? And it's not burnt, it's just ugly.
Mm-hmm.
You just use this eraser and it takes everything off with no friction.
Is Paul from the 1950s? No. But he does make all of his graphics in a program called Quark Express, which is even worse. Paul plays Doom on his computer in Windows 3.1. Aren't you afraid to drop the magnet on the SSD? Not at all. Not at all. I am fearless. I am a savage. I do not worry about such things. Did you hear that you can now get D-brand skins for your Tesla Cybertruck? Is that truck that has a window that's easier to break than an iPhone screen?
You know how you know that he never uses them?
Why?
Because they're still very big.
He would always clean it afterwards.
Yeah.
Oreo status. Oreo poops everywhere. Erica said she may take him to the vet today, but I haven't heard from Erica today, so I'm not sure. Give me 1 sec. I actually have to call her about this vet thing. Yeah, I just noticed I had a missed message while I was streaming. I'll be back shortly, okay? Sorry about that. It looks like Oreo had a previous owner. They're gonna contact the previous owner, and if the previous owner gets back to them, then there's gonna be no more Oreo. So this machine over here has a MOSFET by the CPU that looks like this, which means its CPU is dead. This will be a good holiday season for them. They deserve their animal back. So what does this chip do?
Is it possible to run an iPhone without any speakers or any microphones or camera and still have it screen everything?
I loved Oreo.
It's just to switch the screen, but also
He was dumb. He pooped on himself.
the front camera,
He could never figure out how to wipe his ass. He would get stuck in the closet. Couldn't really jump or anything.
you just charge it for it, it's like unplugging it, right?
So you never checked if Oreo has a chip of his own? Yeah, I use my microchip scanner that I keep in the kitchen right next to my flux capacitor. Alright, so this is CPU voltage. This board is a write-off. This is junk. We move on to the next. This is dead. Oh, Clinton's been to the vet. I know he's mine. I know who his owner was. His owner threw him away when he was 6 weeks old. And then it was given away to somebody, and that person put an ad out for him and contacted me and talked about what an asshole the original owner was. I'm gonna miss little Oreo. His name used to be Mitsu. His real name is Mitsu. Erica took Oreo to the vet because he was pooping all over the place, and apparently he has a microchip and he belongs to somebody else. His name is Mitsu. They had a microchipped when he was in 2011.
Holy shit.
He's a ghetto kitty according to the address that he lives at, but still.
You
He
wanna
traveled
bring
to
him-
really...
You want to bring him back?
Well, you don't really have a choice. You have to contact them. It's the right thing.
Yeah.
What if they've been crying for 2 years about the loss of Mitsu? Not that I can understand how somebody would cry at the loss of a walking pile of diarrhea, but still. He's a lovable walking pile of diarrhea.
That's crazy.
Aw, no more Oreo. Next MacBook.
I can only picture you sitting on the stair, minding your business, and Oreo coming up to you and saying, "Wah!"
He walked a really long way to get here, and he's too stupid to fight for his own food, and he's not fast enough to catch anything, so he must have been hungry. When he chases Blackberry because he tries to rape her every day, if Blackberry jumps on the counter, he stops because he's like, he can't jump that high.
Oh, man. Shit.
Yeah, Blackberry outruns him and outjumps him. I'm surprised he's able to jump on the bed even, but I think he just does it for the sake of spreading his diarrhea there, but still. Little Oreo cat. Sad. Sad. Wait, why the hell am I having to give Oreo medicine? I thought he's not my cat. No, fuck that. Either he's not my cat and somebody else gives him medicine, or he's my cat and I give him medicine. I'm confused as to how this works. Oh, by the way, Erica, your anime slut thing came in today. See? Anime slut thing. Okay. Next, MacBook. So here we have what appears to be an A1706 MacBook. It says with a post-it, this is Emily's MacBook that hates her. That's, I don't know. I mean, did the Mac spill, Emily, did the MacBook spill liquid on you, or did you spill liquid on the MacBook? Because I would argue that this needs to be reversed. It sounds like you hate the MacBook, but I digress. We're going to get to this, see if we can figure out who hates who more, make this thing work again, and go from there. Alright, looks like we have a red sticker on a CD3215 over here. So I'm going to do with this what I do with every MacBook that I work on. We are going to unplug the battery and then see how many amps it takes. It takes 20 volts and 10 milliamps. Let's see that again because I think it spiked for a moment. Yeah, it spikes to 700 milliamps and then dies. I need a Ziploc bag. Wait, do we have any Ziploc bags? Yay.
You want it
These are
smaller?
huge.
I have smaller too.
I could suffocate myself with this.
You could actually.
Thank you. Techno music. It's booming. Boomer. Damn it. I failed to shoot Kevin in the head with the... I was such a terrible drone pilot.
I know that already. Stop it.
Oh, I did a flip.
Lewis.
No, wrong way. Oh, damn it. Okay, no more drone pilot. I like playing with my drone. Alright, I got my Ziploc bag. What is this? What do we have here? It turns on. Seems to stay on. Perhaps something that's connected to it is killing it. Very minor corrosion around an underfilled chip, but other seems like this has been cleaned or taken someplace before. Let's read the ticket notes to figure out exactly what's wrong with this. Okay. So it looks like their issue is question mark folder. Question mark folder is usually a corroded probe point on this side of the board. Or a corroded resistor right by the NAND stuff. So let's see what we have over here. So what's going on over here? Corroded capacitor for PP1V8 SSD hot. You know that, yeah, that's PP3V3S5 SSD. No, that's not. Yeah, PP3V3S5 SSD corroded. Resistor for PPVin 2V7 NAND corroded. See? Man. Boomer. So the issue that she said is here is that this is not seeing the drive, question mark folder. And remember, this is the model where the hard drive, or the solid state drive I should say, sorry for the error, is soldered directly onto the board, which causes obvious issues when you have liquid damage on the board. And the board stops working. So let's see, what is this resistor supposed to be here? That resistor is R9350 that's corroded. And according to the schematic, that resistor should, come on, what are you? Yeah, it should be 1.3 million ohms. Interesting. Is that just the button? Okay, the multimeter's working. But it doesn't want to measure this. It's saying that this is not 1 million ohms. It's saying open line. Let's see if we change range on the meter, because I think it's in auto ranging right now. Still nothing. And look, it literally just came right off the board as I was measuring it. Just like that. That just poof. Now, one of the important things to understand when working on these machines is where the liquid tends to move on each machine and what that circuit is for. Because you're going to have that again and again. Whatever the water tends to funnel its way through on that specific machine based on the internal layout of the components, get to know that area really well, because that's going to be the area where you get most of your liquid damage. And on this machine, a part of it appears to be the SSD circuit, which is great because this is a machine that has the SSD soldered onto the board. And it's one of those really interesting things that I find funny when people say stuff like, you know, this stuff is all becoming you used to be able to replace parts, now you can't, so there's no place for repair people. This is one of the areas where I really just sit back and laugh. Obviously, I'm laughing as I'm clearly every single day of my life telling you not to buy an Apple product. So I laugh guilt-free, of course. But where I'm laughing when people say that there's no place for repair, because the more miserable these devices become to work on, and the more integrated they become, the more necessary it is that you be a repair person. Versus, you know, like in the days where you could just swap out parts, well, yeah, then anybody can swap out parts, which means why the hell would they pay you? But in a world where the drive is soldered onto the motherboard, you know, again, I make money every single day off of this kind of stuff. And every single day I point it out and say, hey, you know, there are other companies that managed to make products that were liquid resistant 15 years ago. I would suggest you check them out. They're cheaper, they treat you better. But again, You don't listen to me. Why listen to me? There's no point. Right? I'm all about the money, right? That's all I'm about. According to many people who dislike my criticisms, my recommendations. I'm all about the money. That's why every single day I show up here as a person who works exclusively, mostly on Apple products outside of data recovery, and tell you not to buy them. That's what a greedy piece of crap I am. This guy is such a greedy schmuck that every day he puts in work and effort to try and dismantle his business model. It's all greed. Okay, so let's turn this thing around and look at the other side of the board in that very spot. And let's also take a look at what the piccolo area looks like. That looks fine. A little bit of dust, but that's not really corrosion. Did something show up? Oh, I have Bluetooth turned off. What did I miss? Is there any chance that anybody may be able to copy and paste what was there? So I don't have to log into 2 separate sites and figure out where it came from. If you copy and paste it, I will get... here we go. You Freddy Schmug. I am not a schmuck. I am not a schmuck. F you. Alright. Happy Tuesday, was it? Thank you very much. Happy Tuesday to you as well, my friend. Yeah, I don't have the speakers turned on apparently. So that's why I couldn't hear the thing and look up. Sorry about that. I suck. My apologies. I will do better next time. So we plugged it. Let's... Okay. So what I'd like to do, let's take a look at those other resistors right by the CD3215 that are a little corroded. See if we can put Humpty Dumpty back together there. Thank you, Tomlinson. God bless you. I'm not even a Christian, but it's Christmas soon, and Christmas used to allow me to take 5 days off of school. So I'll be a Christian. If you give me 5 days off of school, it's a fair trade. Okay, so I can't really do reflow in this area because you got to keep in mind that IC is underfilled, and I don't really feel like ruining it. So I'm just going to do minor touch-ups that I can fit. There's not really much you can do in terms of touch-up since this area is underfilled. On some it's underfilled, on some it's not. Sometimes I wonder if Apple does that because they want to see which machines come back less. Perhaps as an experiment, this round of them we will underfill, this round we won't. Let's see what lasts longer out in the field. Okay, it's going to be hard to fit my iron inside there. Not in the mood for it. It's more funny when my cat's not being stolen from me. Okay, getting in that corner is damn near impossible. I mean, I don't just want to tin the top. I want to make sure I get the pad. I'm waiting until I get the tactile feel of hitting the board and then the pad on the board before I leave. Alright. Let's see if this sees an operating system and boots into an OS now. Yay, now it's boot looping. Yeah, that sucks. Alright, so there, we're gonna just replace that underfilled CD3215. It's the only one that's corroded, and it went from working to, but no SSD, to boot looping. That's no good. That's frowned upon. Screw, you don't know who you're messing with right now. I am a stubborn man. And if you refuse to come out, I will come in there and I will kick you out. Screw, I am not a noob. You're coming out, one way or the other. We could do this the easy way. That's right, motherfucker. Nice try, piece of... There we go. Alright. Maybe it's just a resistor in the surrounding area that's a little messed up. Now you may think that this is dumb because this is an underfilled chip. And if I try to reflow the surrounding area, I'm also going to reflow the chip itself. And you would be correct. The thing is that I've already determined it doesn't work. I'm probably going to have to replace the CD3215 anyway. So why does it matter? And here I see it. There we go. That's what. Was that a blob this whole time? Did I leave a blob there? Unfortunately, I gotta go. It's after 1 a.m. in Germany, hoping for a happy outcome with Oreo. Thank you. Yeah, I was shorting 1.8 volts to ground there. That was dumb. Let's see, do we get 20 now? Yep, back to 20. Okay, so now we can plug it in and see what the hell's happening with the SSD. Let's see if we have, if it's booting or a question mark folder. I'm hoping that we have fixed the problem of the SSD not working. Do we get booting into an operating system, or do we get a question mark folder?
Man, he went to the bathroom before me?
He's not free.
I see an Apple logo. Now, does it boot to a login screen or to online recovery? Hitting Lewis for 2 years. No. Think she had a crush on me for 2 years. She started dating me in May. She had a crush on my PPVin 2v7 NAND. This is taking quite a bit to boot. What am I going to do to kill time while I wait for this to boot? It's time. I need you to unjam this. This thing is such a piece of shit. It always jams. Oh, what is that bullshit? Okay, maybe their SSD got corrupted or something, but it's not a question mark folder anymore. I see what happened to this piece of shit. It's jammed. This thing jams more often than drives you do head swaps on. This thing jams like a Seagate Rosewood. Why does this thing suck so much, Orhan?
What's up?
It never shoots. I took out all the jams.
What a useless piece of shit.
Oh, if Dylan Klebold had this, he wouldn't even be in prison right now.
There's nothing stuck in there. One just came out.
I know. This is broken or something.
I wonder if you can design a better thumbnail for your video on YouTube. You'll get noticed. I need a designer to do that.
45 bucks to it for labor, is enough?
And individual videos don't make what is required for a designer usually.
So, screen's 85. I was gonna say 120.
I should become an artist. I really should become more of an artist.
Maybe 130. Yeah. That's the XR. Yep.
So if I fix an A1706,
We're gonna do them without calibration.
Yeah, we need them to be calibrated though. What do you mean?
you don't need calibrate. You just need the programmer to copy the code from the old screen to the new one.
Yeah, but we don't have the programmer.
I'll buy it.
Okay.
And let's get the programmer.
David knows which one.
So I have an A1706 and it wasn't seeing the SSD, and I fixed 2.7 volts to SSD, and then it boots with an Apple and then a cross. Is that corrupted OS or RIP SSD?
That's a RIP SSD.
What?
One too, can I trade you the chip for it?
What? Okay, 1, 2. Oh! So how do you know that it's dead SSD?
Oh shit. How do I know it's not SSD? Aw, jammed again. Whoa.
Melee.
I'm unarmed.
Blonde?
This is not mine. Oh my god.
Look at Kevin's smile. Kevin's talking to an 80-year-old blonde and he's smiling. I'm gonna distract Kevin from hitting on this cougar. What is?
Yeah. Customers upset that there are weapons on premise.
What?
He's fucking with you. Wait. It's like there's weapons on premise, I don't feel safe.
Get a band-aid.
One of these bullets is jammed.
Probably some ripped ones, because
Oh!
they're gonna rip them.
Yeah, that's exactly what it probably.
I didn't start moving slower with the drone to do it. I was going at full speed and it smashed him right in the side of the
He did that
head.
to me like 10 times in one day. Like,
No, but
Oh man. Okay, one more. It'll help me forget about this.
you get them all.
oh.
My apologies for the drunk driving, Hannah. My apologies for the drunk driving, Hannah. Do you have your dongle?
Yep.
Thank you, Orhan, for your dongle. Alright. Here I have a dongle. This belongs to Orhan. Sorry, I was staving off the aggravation of this repair by playing with a drone, and I flew it right into Steve's head, and it made me laugh. And it was because it was... I'm a terrible employer. I really don't understand it when people go, oh my god, I would love to work here. It's like, really? Really? Like, no place else? No other place that's not a nightmare? Are you working with a jackass all day long? But people say your dreams are your dreams. Don't let your memes be dreams. Try safe boot mode. Safe mode boot. Perhaps. Let's see if this drive shows up. I'm holding down the option key. Alright. Let's try High Sierra. We boot. Let's see what happens. While I'm waiting for this to boot, where are the goggles, Danny? You just... Okay, it boots into my OS. Let's see if it works in their OS. So in my OS it's boots. Let's see if they can if we can see their OS from my OS. Oh, for fuck's sake. Users Emily. Alright, so this does work. It sees her drive and it has her name on it. Her operating system is likely corrupt from when the liquid spill occurred, which is why it's not booting. But that does not mean... So this woman likely needs a reinstall with data. I probably won't be able to migrate the apps. The new operating systems don't appear to be, make that easy. But I can see her data, which means that there's no more question mark folder. And I am happy with that it sees her drive. And you can also tell that it sees her drive, which it didn't before, because before we had a question mark, and here we have an apple. And also when I hold down the option key, when the option key is being held down, you can see that Macintosh HD shows up in gray on that boot screen, which is the internal drive. So it does see the internal drive. Now obviously the backing up of data is not something that I'm going to put on the screen, because data privacy and all that good jazz. But this is fixed to the point that I could show you on camera. The rest of it will happen off camera, and that's how you deal with that. And as always, I hope you learned something. Duck and cover. I'm going to hit Alt F4. I'm going to hit Alt with the red Nerf gun and F4 with the blue Nerf gun.
Stop it.
That would be slick if I could actually hit Alt F4 with two Nerf guns.
Almost impossible.
Alright. Oh, actually, look. Check it out. It seems to be agreeing now. So I would obviously want to reinstall this just because, but as you can see... So as you can see over here, this has booted up into the operating system. It says Emily. I'm covering the last name for privacy purposes. But this is indeed now fixed. It's seeing an SSD, so it looks like they had an issue with one resistor up here, R9350. Let's take a look at that on the schematic and board view and see what that's for. So R9350. Let's blow up the schematic view on the screen. As long as you're out for the new place, get some of those remote Nerf turrets. Maybe. So, U9330 is going to be a chip that is responsible for creating power rails for the SSD, and it's called Piccolo. Piccolo is available on store.rossmangroup.com. And it looks like there is a pin called IUVD. But IUVD, I honestly don't know what that means. And I probably can't find a datasheet to the chip to figure out what the importance of IUVD is. But it was corroded, and now it's not, so it works. That's it for today. As always, I hope you learned something. If you can find a datasheet to Piccolo, I will be so happy that I will give you this man's Mercedes. Immediately. But... Actually, I don't think I can do that because it's a lease. And it's kind of an old shitty one as well, but... So, anyway, we're going to end this. It's about time for a Nerf war. I've had enough for today. See you all later. If you are one of the patron people, there'll be a 10 p.m. live stream. If you're not one of the patron people, then later on there'll be a normal live stream. But I'm going to do my best to do a daily live stream for the Patreon people. Make sure to give everybody their a month's worth. Today the topic is going to be some curveballs that I got and the real estate thing that I wasn't expecting. That kind of some of it like made me feel a little better, but only after it's absolutely sucked. Also, the good thing about having the camera there is even when I'm not looking at the window, I can see Steve sneaking in, and we can kill him. Which, watch him. Because even though he has Nerf bullets, I have raw garlic under my desk, and I can chew it and walk up to him at any time. Alright, time to get out of here. See you in the next one.